What's up? I'm back. It's been too dang long for me to have been away from y'all. So I apologize. You know what I'm saying? This is I've invaded my wife's office. I hope the acoustics are good. Because I've invaded my wife's office for this because I could not do this any longer. So we've got 4 parts so far. Stage 1, stage 2, stage 4. Today is stage 5. So I know it's been too long. It's probably been like, 2 months or something since I've given y'all the next stage, right? So today is stage 5. Again, I apologize. Hey, I'm working. I'm progressing too, you know what I'm saying? It's about progression, not perfection. So I've been trying to get back to this, you know what I'm saying? But my body has not wanted to do this at all. But my spirit is willing, you know what I'm saying? So here we are. I got my notes on this card stock, you know what I'm saying? Y'all hear it? Thick paper, maybe just in case my subconscious tried to spill some water or something on it and ruin it. Thick paper though, I got you. Just for y'all, you know what I'm saying? So today is stage 5. And I think I'm good. I think I'm ready. We're about to get straight into it. Stage 5 is about being fruitful and finding fruitful. All right? Let me break it down for you in the word. Genesis 1:20 and 22, it says, "And God said, let the water teem with living creatures and let birds fly above the earth across the vault of the sky. God blessed them and said, be fruitful and increase in number and fill the water and the seas. Let the birds increase on the earth." All right, so I'm gonna break that down for you. Then we're gonna get into it. The water represents the spirit and your spirit. Why did God fill the water with the creatures before he filled the land or air? Because it's his direction to fill your spirit with fruitful things that produce spiritual growth and readiness. Then he let birds fly across the vault called sky as a reminder to have grace and have a community that is filled with grace-giving individuals. So once God gives us the template of what our community should look like, he says, be fruitful. Be fruitful. All right. This is one of the most misunderstood things. He says, be fruitful and multiply. You could say, and then multiply. Be fruitful and then multiply. He's not saying be fruitful and multiply are two totally different thoughts, ideas, sentences, or words, right? They don't mean the same thing. Being fruitful and multiplying are not the same thing. And most times you hear people saying, "Oh yeah, hey, Lord said be fruitful and multiply." They go straight to the multiply top. The multiply half of it, nobody ever is paying attention to the being fruitful part. Like everybody trying to multiply, ain't nobody trying to be fruitful. So now we just got a whole bunch of unfruitful multiplication going on out here, and it's all bad seeds. You know what I'm saying? Like the fruitful part is the important part of the be fruitful and multiply. So fruitful, by definition, means producing good or helpful results, productive, right? He already told us to be soil capable of taking seed and producing vegetation on day 3. Now he wants us to put it into practice. All right, so produce, the definition of produce, right? Because he wants us to, producing and productive, producing vegetation, root word on all those is produce. Produce is a cause to happen or come into existence. So you produce some type of result. You produce something that is now of sustainability or existence or it's tangible in some form or fashion. So like I said, this generation is confusing being fruitful and being seed filled. So if you're fruitful, all right, I'll give you guys this example. An apple tree gives off, apples, right? So it's boom, apple. The apples are not being fruitful. The tree is the fruitful one in this example. So when you plant the seed, boom, the seed is not fruitful. The seed is not, there's nothing fruitful about the seed. The seed will eventually grow if it's taken care of, if it's watered correctly, if it's given the proper amount of sunlight, love, all that kind of stuff, right? Of course, the tree can wither or be out of season if it's not being tended to correctly. So a tree grows, boom, apple tree grows, boom, boom, boom. It's apple, boom, apples everywhere. Apples. The tree is being fruitful when it produces the apples in season when it's supposed to produce apples. If an apple tree produces apples out of season, they'll immediately be bad. Like if an apple tree is out here producing apples in the middle of the winter, or I don't know what apple tree, when they're supposed to be producing apples. I just know that they got a season. It's apple season, just like it'd be strawberry season, it'd be grape season. If they producing, whatever is producing out of season, then the product is not going to be, ripe, right? It's not going to be able for consumption. Excuse me. So you have to be able to take seed, right? You have to be soil to take seed to produce a tree that is fruitful. The apple is the fruitfulness in this situation. The same as your spirit has to be able to take growth spiritually, knowledge of the world, to discern, and all that stuff, to be able to produce a result that you can then give to other people. Whether that's in your work, like if you're at work and you're not fruitful, meaning you can't teach people, you can't get jobs done, you can't deliver results, there's no fruitful or productive action coming along. Like if you're a person that turns jobs a lot, it's probably because you're not fruitful, or you're not being able to take in what they're giving you to produce the desired result, right? Or you're doing it out of season, you're doing it on your time and not the time in which you need to do it. Go to my next bullet point, which is Mark 11:12-14. The next day, as they were leaving Bethany, Jesus was hungry. Seeing in the distance a fig tree in leaf, he went to find out if it had any fruit. When he reached it, he found nothing but leaves, because it was not the season for figs. And then he said to the tree, "May no one ever eat fruit from you again." As his disciples heard him say it. So I'm gonna break that down for you as best I can. So Jesus went to the fig tree and was like, "Figs," and the tree was like, "I ain't got no figs for you. I ain't got no figs for you." So he was like, "May you never have figs for anyone, ever again." That's pretty much the same thing he's saying. I think it then goes on to say more stuff. Read, what was that? Mark 11:12-14 and beyond to get the context, right? And prior to 12, right? To get the whole context. But that's saying that the fig tree wasn't the season for the figs when Jesus came, right? Jesus came to get something, and the fig tree was not in season. The fig tree was not ready for Jesus. The fig tree wasn't in a fruitful spot to give Jesus what he was requiring from the fig tree. Think about that. Like, how many times have we seen Jesus do miracles, right? You would think, right, that if Jesus really wanted a fig, the fig tree would have had figs. But he's using this as an example for his disciples in the crowd and the onlookers about seasonality of your spirit, right? And being fruitfully available when the spirit is needing you to be available. There's been times in my life where I've been spiritually available and not had the wisdom to be used by the Spirit. I remember one time I was with a friend. He was down in hard times. I was giving him a ride to his house. He didn't have no money. He hadn't eaten in a couple of days, so I bought him some tacos. We talked about God, and I just was kind of ministering to him. I knew no scriptures, and the Spirit could only use me so much. I was spiritually available, but I was not spiritually fruitful. I could give him encouraging words because the Spirit could lead me there, but I had no fruit. I had no fruit in my bag to pull out and give to him. I had no scriptures. I couldn't tell him God said this. I could only give him experiences that I had. So you have to make sure your bag of fruit is filled, you know what I'm saying, with all kinds of stuff. If you're leaning only on experiences, or if you have no experiences and you're leaning only on the word, then when it comes time for you to be spiritually available and have fruit, because you can be spiritually available for another person and not have any fruit or produce to give to them because you don't have the experiences, you haven't been out there, you haven't worked, you haven't talked to people, you haven't been through things, or you haven't been in the word, you don't know the scriptures, you don't know this, you don't know that. You have to, all of those things have to come in alignment, you know what I'm saying, for God to be able to use you in a time where you need to be used. So this is saying, this is not God saying this fruit, this fig tree tripping, boom, dead fig tree. This is Jesus saying, if you cannot be fruitful in the season in which I need you to be fruitful, then you might as well be dead, because I cannot use you for the kingdom. And that's what this is all about. The fig tree is where it needs to be, when it needs to be there. And that's how most of our Christian walks is. We don't know much. We just like, hey, I'm gonna go to church. I know Sundays I'm supposed to be in church. The rest of the 6 days, I don't really know I'm supposed to. I'm gonna be in church though, and I'm gonna at least be there. I'll listen here and there, but I know I'm gonna be there. They start at 9:45. I'll get there 9:45-ish, 9:59, 10 o'clock. I'm gonna be there on Sunday eventually. And then we don't listen to the sermon. We're not applying the messages. We're not reading the context. We just get what we get, then we go home. Monday we back at it. Tuesday through we go back on Sunday. Like, hey man, I've been waiting all week for this. Bro, that line, I've been waiting all week for this. Like, why? Like, why? You could have did this. You could have did this Tuesday. You could have did this Wednesday at your house by yourself. That's what produces fruit in a season, so you can have it when you need it, when God calls it. When you're talking to somebody and they're saying, I'm down on my luck, and you can be like, Mark 17:13 says, and I have been through, man, I've been where you at. You can say those kind of things. You have the fruit, you have produce available, ready for you to give and offer to someone. And though that's what this message is saying, be there when you're needed and have the resources that you need available at your disposal if God calls them from you, if God is requiring them from you. I hate to be in a spot like, just imagine one day you at work. You know, I work in the hardware store, so imagine I'm putting up my drill sets, and Jesus walks up to me and is like, hey man, I need some M&M peanut style. If I'll be carrying candy on me at work just in case. You never know when you might get trapped under some boxes or something. They gotta evacuate you out. So I carry some candy on me. Imagine if I didn't have it though. Like, it was the one day I was like, man, I'm trying to cut back. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna carry no candy on me. I don't want no temptations. And he's like, hey, chocolate peanut M&Ms, the yellow bag. And I didn't have it. I'll be devastated. And he's like, may you never eat chocolate peanut M&Ms ever again. That would be terrible. I mean, that's just a mild case of what I'm trying to elaborate to you. But just imagine you didn't have what God is asking for. After it's what you're supposed to have. Like this, me, Me talking to you guys, this is what I feel like God has called me to do. And me not doing it is me saying, nah, God, I ain't ready. Even though he told me, nah, you ready. You in the right spot. You doing what you're supposed to do, but I need you to do this also. So for a long time, I've been like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do it. 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 He's like, no figs. Man, you never have a fig. I'm like, dang, figs. All right, hold on, wait. All right, I'll do it. I'll do it. I'm sorry. That's on me. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, Genesis 1:28. God blessed them and said to them, be fruitful and increase in number. Fill the earth and subdue it. Rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky and over every living creature that moves on the ground. Genesis 49:22. Joseph is a fruitful vine near a spring whose branches climb all over a wall. Ezekiel 19:10. Your mother was like a vine in your vineyard planted by the water. It was fruitful and full of branches because of abundant water. Now, y'all know what water represents. If you don't remember what water represents, go back to day 1. I think it's day 1. Day 1. John 15:1-6. I am the true vine. This is Jesus talking. I am the true vine. My Father is the gardener. So back to the apple thing. If you're not getting the right water, the right love, the right nutrients, being taken care of, getting the right amount of sunlight by the gardener, then you could be all over. You could be a bad apple tree. He cuts off branches in me that bears no fruit. Branches. Well, all right. While every branch that does bear fruit, he prunes so that it will be even more fruitful. Remain in me as I also remain in you. No branch can bear fruit by itself. It must remain in the vine. Neither can you bear fruit unless you remain in me. I am the vine. You are the branches. If you remain in me and I in you, you will bear much fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing. If you do not remain in me, you are like a branch that is thrown away. It withers and withers. Such branches are picked up and thrown into the fire and burned. Not trying to be me. So again, that's saying if you look at a vine, all right, the vine, the stem of the vine is what supplies the nutrients, right? The gardener takes care of it. He waters the roots, he waters the vine, or the roots supply the vine with the nutrients that they need to deliver whatever said nutrients, the chloroplast and the mitochondrials to the branches on the vine. So a vine is a little different than the tree. And the vines supply that same nutrients to whatever fruit that they're growing on the vine or on the branch. The fruits don't grow directly from the branch, from the vine part. They grow off of the branch part. So God's saying, or Jesus is saying, remain on the vine, remain tethered to the vine, so I can supply you everything that you need, so you can be fruitful for the next people, right? And let God deliver whatever He needs to deliver through Jesus unto us, right? I hope that's all making sense for everybody. These are some of my favorite ones right here. John 15:16 says, you did not choose me, but I chose you and appointed you so that you may go and bear fruit that will last. And so that whatever you ask in my Father's name, my Father will give you. A fruit that will last. Fruit that will last. Fruit that will last, right? So there's a lot of things out there that are fruit that will last, right? Technology has a lot of fruit that will last. The iPhone, that's fruit that will last. See what I did there? It's Apple. You know what I'm saying? Fruit that will last. In case you didn't catch it, fruit that will last. There's movies, fruit that will last. There's books, fruit that will last. There's a book, fruit that will last. There's a lot of things out there that's fruit that will last. Nothing will last like a spirit, though. You have to feed your spirit fruit that will last. You have to get your spirit man to a point where he can then be fruit for other spirits to feed off of. That's where community becomes so important, because you need to have a community around you that is bearing fruit into you. and you can bear fruit back into them. I'm really, 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 really thankful about the community that I currently have, because they're getting me to a place where God's calling me, right? Not to take shots at anybody in my life, but there's been communities that I've been in that have been very, very, very fruitful, and we produced a lot. It just it wasn't in a spiritual way, and it never got me closer to God. And the further I feel from God, the worse I feel in my personal life. Like my personal everything suffers for the distance that God now there comes in between us, right? Like now, if I feel far from God, I can feel it. And then before it wasn't that way. I never felt close to God, so I couldn't feel far from God. Even though looking back on it, he was always close to me, right? He's always there. Anyway, I digress. I'm keep hitting y'all with these bangers. 1 Corinthians 13:11. When I was a child, I talked as a child. I thought as a child. I reasoned as a child. When I became a man, I put the ways of childhood behind me. I wonder if my wife got her Bible in here. She don't. Oh, I was about to hit y'all with a straight banger. Now I forgot it. I'm gonna drop it in my comments. I mean, in the description. I'm gonna drop it in the description so y'all can read it and be like, "Ooh, that was a good one. He should have spoke on it." But I forgot it already right now. But it's in my notes, but not these notes. It was like a last minute thing that the Spirit hit me with. Well, I'm gonna have to drop it in the description. I'm gonna have to drop it. 1 Corinthians 14:20 says, "Brothers and sisters, stop thinking as children in regard to evil, be infants, but in your thinking be adults." So this is in those two passages. When I was a child, I talked as a child. Brothers and sisters, stop thinking as children. He's saying you have not been filled with fruitful thoughts. You have not been filled with the fruitfulness of righteousness. He's saying you lack maturity in your season where you should be. So this goes back to the fig tree, right? If you're not in the right season at the right time, when God is there to collect, you're in infancy, right? You're not seasoned. You have not reached your maturity. God cannot use you for what He is requiring from you at the moment when He needs it. Again, I don't want to imagine or be put in a position where God is asking something from me, that He's giving me opportunities to have ready for Him, and I can't deliver because I'm not in the right season. Because I slacked off and was like, I don't want to do that. I'm gonna skip that. It's like a workout, right? Like you skip leg day for 5 months, and then God comes and is like, all right, I need you to squat this boulder off of this young man. You ain't gonna be able to do it. Like this little guy's gonna get squished because you got these little chicken legs. You know what I'm saying? You have to be able. If He presents you with the opportunity to prepare, then you need to take that opportunity and prepare, because you don't know what the test is. You don't know what the test is gonna be. He always is gonna hit you with a new test to put you in a place where you can grow, right? Growth is what it's about. Growth in the spirit, growth in the kingdom, growth in your personal life. It's all about growth for you and for the kingdom. All right, let me move on. Matthew 10:8. Some of these I don't even know why I put them on her, but I really like them. Matthew 10:8. Heal the sick, raise the dead, cleanse those who have leprosy, drive out demons. Freely you have received, freely give. That's 2 Thessalonians. I know I'm saying that kind of weird. That my mouth won't let me form the letters in which I need to say it. 2 Thessalonians. All right. 3:10-13. For even when we were with you, we gave you this rule: the one who is unwilling to work shall not eat. Oh, this is a good one. The one who is unwilling to work shall not eat. We hear that some among you are idle and disruptive. They are not busy. They are busybodies. Such people we command and urge in the Lord Jesus Christ to settle down and earn the food they eat. And as for you, brothers and sisters, never tire of doing what is good. That's a word right there. Those who do not work do not eat. That's kind of what he's saying. Those who do not work do not eat. That God gave us the template, right? Work, 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 work. Then rest, right? Work, 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 work. Then rest. Not rest, 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 rest. Mean rest. Those who do not work do not eat. Those who do not work are not fruitful. Because they have no fruit. Because they have nothing to grow fruit from. They have no experiences. They're not putting in the work to get them. They have no knowledge because they don't put in the work to get it. They have nothing to produce the fruit in which God is asking you for over and over and over. For a long time, I felt calling to, talk, right? To talk, to share, to teach, to help. And I was like, nah, that ain't what I want to do. I'm going to do my rapping thing because, if you're saying I'm going to be talking, I'm going to be in front of people and I'm going to be doing teaching and reaching and all that, I might as well go ahead and do this rapping thing because it's cooler. It's what my friends like to do. It's what our community I'm in. You know what I'm saying? I can get more friends, more dollars, get money. You know what I'm saying? That's where I was at. Now, the community I'm in is like, God, feeding me what I need to be on a platform and be in a spot where he ordained me to be at, and I can be fruitful in multiple levels, layered on top of each other because of where I come from, the experiences I have, and the unwillingness I have or have had to follow his word. Now I can speak on that. Like, I didn't want to do it. I actively avoided doing what God told me for a long time. And now I'm trying to make up that time so I can be who he called me to be and be ready when he's like, need it from you, I can have it ready for him. I would hate to disappoint him in that way. Like, God, I ain't got it, man. I know I was slacking. I was trying to do my rapid thing. That would suck. Like, I would be so disappointed in myself. Anyway, if you aren't willing to put in the work to get to a point where you can be fruitful, then you receive a spiritual death, right? If you're not putting in the work to be what God has asked you to be, or he's predestined you to be, if you're like actively avoiding it, like I just said, then your spirit on the inside feels dead, right? Like you feel like you're missing something, like you just don't have enough of something, and you don't know what it is until you find out what it is. Luke 13:7-8. So he said, this is Jesus talking, I think. So he said to the man who took care of the vineyard, for 3 years now, I've been coming to you for the fruit on this fig tree and haven't found any. Cut it down. Why should he use up the soil? Sir, the man replied, leave it alone for 1 more year and I'll dig around it and fertilize it. That's a word. That's a word. That's a word. Get rid of them. That's the illustration he's putting into play is it's not worth the effort, right? Why work on it? Cut it down, get rid of it. And God's saying, or Jesus is saying, no. Hold on, wait a minute, Father. Wait a minute, Father. Let me work on him a little bit longer. Just a little bit longer. This is a story of my life. Let me just work on him a little bit longer. He'll get there. He gonna have that fruit. This is probably y'all's story. Everybody waiting. We're like, no, I don't really want to produce that fruit. I'm gonna produce this fruit instead. If you a banana tree, you ain't never gonna produce no apples. You know what I'm saying? Golly, just wipe that clean. God's calling you to do something, go ahead and do it now, or you're gonna be out here trying to be a fig tree and you really a grapevine, just out here looking dumb. Just looking dumb. Hey, it's okay. We all have our seasons, you know what I'm saying, of looking dumb. Even if growing as a tree, trees look dumb before they got fruits and branches and all that. They just look like little sticks, like little dumb sticks. It's okay, because one day that stick is going to be a mighty apple tree, or a banana tree, or a palm tree. I don't know, coconut tree, whatever kind of tree it's supposed to be. But you have to be in a place. You got to go through your dumb looking seasons. Hey, I can speak from this. When I was growing my hair out, there was what I was calling the ugly phase. I was out here looking dumb and ugly. But I had to get through that season. Had to get through it to be a mildly more handsome, dumb, ugly looking guy. You know what I'm saying? I try and keep myself real nice. My wife keeps me pretty good. You know what I'm saying? She tell me when I'm gonna need to get a haircut. She already told me earlier today that I've been slacking on my hair. You know what I'm saying? I need to get my hair care together, because I told her hair smelled nice. And she did this face like, And I was like, okay, well, it's cold outside. Nobody want to go nowhere. Anyway, I digress. You have to go through those phases to get where you need to be when you need to be there. That's a good one. Leave it alone for one more year, and I dig around it and fertilize it. Man, that's a word. Hey, Luke 13:7-8. Leave it alone for one more year, and I'll dig around it and fertilize it. Last but not least, Matthew 21:43. Therefore, I tell you that the kingdom of God will be taken away from you and given to a people who will produce its fruit. This whole time, God has been saying, the fruit you produce is not for the world. The fruit you produce is for the kingdom. This is kingdom fruit for the people of the kingdom. Give it to the kingdom people. Give it to the people coming to and living in the kingdom. The kingdom grows every day. We add people, we lose people. Anybody who's involved in the kingdom will eat kingdom fruit, will produce kingdom produce. That's a word. Will produce kingdom produce. So don't be in the kingdom. First of all, you're not going to be in the kingdom if you're not producing kingdom fruit. If you're not eating, producing, or around people that have the fruit of the kingdom, you're not in the kingdom. I'm gonna just tell you that right now. You're not in the kingdom. If you going out and your friends aren't, y'all ain't saying nothing about God other than you like, Jesus, look at, you know what I'm saying? Then the fruit that you got ain't the right fruit. Jesus, look at them apples. You know what I'm saying? Like, those ain't the fruits you supposed to be focused on. Get around the people that produce the fruit you're looking to eat, so you can be in the kingdom. And that's all I got to say. If y'all got any questions, if I didn't explain anything right, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that like and the subscribe button. Again, I appreciate y'all. Y'all so much to come in and watch these videos. If it's anything y'all want to see, anything y'all have questions about, again, leave those in the comments below. I get to them on a one-by-one basis. I try to respond to everybody. If y'all got questions, I'll do extra videos, any of that. So again, thank you for coming through. I hope y'all got some. I hope y'all got at least one word. At least one word. If y'all ain't getting nothing else, let it grow one more year, and I'll dig around it and fertilize it. Y'all have a good week. Y'all have a good weekend, and I'll see y'all next time. Love and